Joining me here on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is somebody that I thought of immediately, because not only did I know he was there, but then I also saw him go to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where he was feted in front of the Packers crowd with his Hall of Fame bust and was presented with his Hall of Fame ring to go with his jacket. And the Packers went out and thumped the Rams in the second half of that game after he was honored. So what a football weekend for one of the greats in the history of the National Football League, as well as the University of Michigan. Our friend on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line, Charles Woodson. How are you, Charles?
Rich, man, I'm doing great, man. Doing great. How are you?
Where did that weekend rank for you in the history of your football weekends, Charles Woodson?
Hey, Rich, that was a glorious weekend. I mean, unbelievable. Starts off on Thanksgiving with a huge Raiders win. Then all of a sudden we go into the weekend and what I feel like is a must-win game in terms of legacy and, you know, having everything on the table, everything in front of us for the University of Michigan. And they went out there and beat our arch rivals, man. And I got to tell you, man, I couldn't be more proud of that team and the way that they played. Man, they came out with fire, intensity, passion, and you could tell, man, that it meant something to them. And I think that, to me, is just the most important thing. I was able to watch a special with Aiden Hutchinson and Josh Ross Saturday morning, and they just talked about what the rivalry meant, and those guys, you know, being the seniors, man, and knowing that they just had to get it done, and they did it. Being able to, you know, be there for the coin toss and be an honorary captain. And then, man, hopping on the plane, coming on to Green Bay, see my name go up in the stadium. I mean, I don't, you know, you ask, you know, where did this weekend rank? I tell you what, there's not many better.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Let's take each part a little bit each time here. Charles Woodson on the Rich Eisen Show here. And let's start with the one that you and I share together, the one in Ann Arbor. I mean, it felt different this year, that this team was different, they were built different, they were playing differently, and that they were being coached differently. And it obviously this was the litmus test, and it passed. What do you think was the difference this year compared to the previous ones, Charles Woodson, knowing the program as well as you do?
Yeah. I think, you know, Rich, you've been watching this game for the past, you know, several years. And, you know, one of the things that, for me, that was really glaring is it seems like in this game, especially in terms of defense, it seems like we never adjusted to, you know, what they were trying to do to us, or look at what they were doing the week before and be prepared for that the week that we played them. And I think the addition of Mike McDonald cannot go. It can't be understated or overstated enough. You know what he did with that group of men and getting them to buy into what he was doing as a coach. Get those guys, you know, some of them to play differently than they've played before. I mean, if you think about Aiden Hutchinson, you know, a guy who's, you know, can get after the passer better than just about anybody in the country. And then also see him be able to drop out in coverage and cover in the flats and go out and make tackles and be a presence not only in the rush game, but also tackling in space. I mean, this team came out fired up, and you could tell, man, that they truly bought into it. And I just, you know, going back to, you know, watching that special with Josh Ross and Aiden Hutchinson, we're talking about, you know, Aiden's dad went to Michigan. Josh Ross's brother went to Michigan. So they know this rivalry in and out, man. And they know what it would mean for them to go out, you know, beating that school and finally, you know, getting back on the right side of that scoreboard. So I just think, man, buying into what was going on was the biggest difference this year.
What was it like in that house? What was it like in the house that day?
Oh, man, it was great, man. You know, for me, I was working, you know, before the game, working Fox, and, you know, all of a sudden got the snow flurries coming down.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it just felt like a great day to be in the big house. You know what I mean? And I kept telling the guys on the set, man, I don't know what it was, but I felt differently that day. I mean, I don't know how the team, you know, and the coaches were feeling, but something about, you know, that particular day, man, I could just feel it, man. And the whole day on the show, I just kept mentioning to the guys that, man, this is a business trip. You know, I hope that the team approaches it that way, because I was approaching my day in the show as a business trip, as if I was going out there to play that game. So they did. They treated it as a business trip, and the stadium was electric. The people came out. The energy was there, and I'm getting excited right now talking to you, Rich.
Yeah.
I feel like running through a door right now.
I do too, Charles. That's why I wanted to talk with you. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'll tell you anyway as well. I've been enjoying this win even better day after day, hour after hour. It gets better. It gets better. It's like Thanksgiving leftovers, as I mentioned on the show the previous day. It tastes better every single day. I don't know if you're aware that your wine, the Intercept wine, is perfectly paired with whoop ass. I opened a bottle after that game, and you can pair it with whoop ass like that game in the second half perfectly. It tasted better, Charles. I don't know if you're aware of that. Your wine.
I am aware of it, and what's interesting, Rich, is because for me there's never a dull moment. I'm over in De Pere, Wisconsin, and I'm signing bottles of Intercept wine and Woodson whiskey right now.
Right now, yeah, because we're hearing stuff in the background. It sounds like you're doing something.
I'm signing bottles right now. And,
okay.
And to your point,
yes,
there's a lot of people that are picking up the Woodson wine and the Woodson bourbon whiskey. So
right.
Not only did it go down well with the ass whooping we put on those guys on Saturday, but also yesterday's game.
Yeah.
The Packers and the Rams. I mean, this Woodson whiskey and Intercept wine is going down so well this weekend that I got a lot of people that need it, man.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So then the Packers, you know what it looks like to be on a Super Bowl team in Green Bay. What does this one look like for you right now? Charles, you saw it up close and personal on Sunday.
Yeah, they look good, man. And, first I'll jump on the defensive side of the ball and the way that this team is really just getting after people. I always – well, not always, but the last couple of weeks I've been giving a lot of love to another Michigan guy, Rashawn Gary, because he is playing absolute lights-out football right now. You can see his development over the last couple of years, and he's just giving them an element, especially with Darius Smith being out. He's just brought a lot to the table. I look at Rasul Douglas, a guy who was on the practice squad, and the Raiders went and found him, and you've seen him with a pick six yesterday. And how fitting the guy to have a pick six on the day that I go into the ring environment, something that I used to do plenty of times when I played Rich. So this team is, I think, they're clicking at the right time. The Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams connection is, never been better. And what about, Randall Cobb? This was somebody that A-Rod said he wanted back. We heard him before the season talking about guys that he didn't think should have been, run out or maybe should have been retained. And that was a guy he wanted. And all he did was come up with big plays in timely moments yesterday. So when I think about this team and what they've been going through in terms of some of the injuries, they are finding ways to win and being able to dominate. So it was a beautiful win yesterday. Great night to be in Lambeau Field. Packers are looking good.
Well, I mean, what's your connection in terms of with Rodgers lately and the way he's thinking about things? Because to me, and I said this on my Monday show, Charles, that there's no better place than Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers. Fans love him. They dig him, even with whatever was going on with COVID. They love him. I know what he felt about Gutekunst, but you can't deny the drafting of A.J. Dillon is crucial. They've lost, I've lost track of the number of left tackles that they've lost, and that protection held up against the Rams and what they were bringing, the grown-ass men that they were sending his way. Do you think he's going to stay? I mean, what do you think his sense is of everything there in Green Bay right now?
I think that as this season has played out, I would have to say Aaron Rodgers is going to be more and more receptive to staying in Green Bay. I think everything that, he had issues with was put out there in the open, for everyone to see, including, top people, top brass with the Packers. And so everybody knows what it is. And so I believe that after that, they understand that, hey, man, this is, one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. All he's asking is to have a little bit of input on what it is, the decisions we're making in terms of personnel, what he needs to be successful as a quarterback. And I think for the Packers, they're going to do everything they can Aaron Rodgers has, maybe 3-4 more years left. You want to lock this guy in, make him happy for as long as you can, because this stadium, if you watched him walk off that field yesterday after that game, and people chanting MVP, they love Aaron Rodgers. And I think that Aaron, as he walks off that field, I think he feels it. I think he knows it. So I think the more and more that this season plays out, Aaron is more and more receptive to being in Green Bay for his entire career.
All right, couple more minutes left with Charles Woodson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's give me your thoughts on the Raiders and how viable a threat do you think they are in the AFC? What a win that was on Thanksgiving. They established Josh Jacobs, in my mind, in a way that we haven't seen for the first 11 weeks of the season. And what you think of the defense? They've got some pretty great pass rushers on that team that was sent Dak's way. What do you think of their viability for the rest of the year, Charles?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the Raiders, man, what's most important for them, man, is that, they're going to have to, block out all the noise, going forward. Everybody knows, what they've gone through in terms of, a lot of off-the-field stuff this year. And so a lot of people are, talking. This is the, same old Raiders, this and that. But the Raiders have good players on their team. You talk about Josh Jacobs and really getting him going in that game. Josh Jacobs can be a dominant running back. I think that, for the Raiders, what they have to do is they got to establish that balanced attack, with the run game as well as the passing game. Make sure you keep, your quarterback, Derek Carr, keep him upright so that he's not, running for his life back there in the backfield. If they can do that, we know that this guy can light up the scoreboard, in terms of yards and points. And you said it, man, Max Crosby and Darko Yannick, these guys are dynamic pass rushing duo that you have in the NFL. So they have some players out there, man, but it's, the name of the game, man. It's all about fundamentals, as Al Davis would say, blocking and tackling, and it's really as simple as that. So I think for this team, they got to be able to use Deshaun Jackson downfield a little bit more if they can. Try to open things up underneath. Yeah. Brian Edwards, I think, has to be a big piece of this team as a young receiver. He's got to step up big time. But, they got as good a chance as anybody. Nobody's as dominant this year. This league has been up and down. It's been all over the place. So anybody can get there. So,
it is wide open. A lot of people are saying, though, Charles, that it looks like 2001 all over again for the Patriots, the way that Mac Jones is playing in his first go-around as quarterback, the same way that Brady did. If that's the case, does that mean the Raiders play New England in the snow and Jonathan Abrams going to knock the ball loose because he wears 24? Do you think that happens? What do you think, Charles?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
Yeah, I guess anything can happen, but as long as I can pick whoever the referee crew is, then we can play the game. But if I can't pick the referee crew, then all bets are off.
Because, they call it the snow game in New England. You know that, right? They call it the snow game in New England? That's what they call it, snow game?
I know what they call it. I'm not worried about the snow. I'm worried about the refs.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, Charles. All right, Charles. I appreciate you giving us a call while you're signing your wines and your alcohol, right? Your
whiskey.
The whiskey. Yep. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. And as I've said, it pairs perfectly with whoop ass, as I found out perfectly on Saturday night. How far do you think Michigan goes? Again, you know what a national champion Michigan team looks like. What do you think? Do you think this is it? What do you think? This can happen? Honestly, heart of hearts.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I like the I like the chances. Of course, we got to come down off of the high.
That's right.
Week, of course, take care of business down in Indy. But as I look at the field, Rich, I don't think there's anybody that'll be in that four that they can't beat or they don't match up with. So this is as good a chance for us to go and win a national championship as we've ever had in Harbaugh's 10 years, whoever else coached at Michigan. So
right.
They just got to,
are you
10 years back, man, and go get it.
Are you going Indy? You going to be there?
There's a good chance. I'm trying to work out. You never know. I might be signing some Bibles and whiskey.
Okay.
I don't know.
I love it. And people can go where to get your stuff? Let's get the plug in.
You can go to cwinterceptwines.com or WoodsonWhiskey.com.
Okay.
Or if you're in Green Bay or Deep Pier, you can go to Festival Foods. We're in a lot of places, Rich.
Man, if the Packers win the Super Bowl and Michigan wins the national championship the year that you go into the Ring of Honor and the Hall of Fame, I don't know, Charles. You're going to have to give me your lottery numbers. That's what I need to know if that happens. To be honest with you.
How sick would that be?
It would be. It would definitely be sick. That will be for sure.
No doubt.
So let's talk down the line. Thanks for the call, Charles. You're the best.
All good, man. Good talking to you.
You got it. That's first ballot Hall of Famer, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Charles Woodson, signing his wine and whiskey there in Green Bay, Wisconsin, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.